People have been waiting for hours on lines that wrap around the block to get into Chanel and see if they can get their hands on anything. People have been buying things that they might not have necessarily wanted just because it's the last one in stock. They've been buying things that weren't necessarily their exact sizes because it was the last one. I've seen people hire someone to go and source the bags that they want for them. This is crazy. We have to talk about what's going on at Chanel. I haven't seen people go this crazy since the Rose sample sale. So here we are again because we have to talk about it. If you've ever stepped foot in a Chanel store, or if you're just on the luxury fashion side of TikTok, then you have definitely seen these crazy videos of people lining up down the block, going back to Chanel day after day after day to try and get their hands on the new Chanel drop. And this isn't just any drop. Chanel hired a new creative director, Blazy, and this is his first collection with the brand. And honestly, this is really exciting because we have not seen major change since Karl Lagerfeld was the creative director for Chanel. I mean, he's the one that put the CC logo on the Chanel flat bags. And we know to this day how iconic that was. But since then, things have really slowed down when it comes to excitement at Chanel. And that's not the only thing that's slowed down. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. There are so many videos of tried and true die-hard Chanel fans who have bought from the brand for so many years, decades, who decided that they do not want to buy Chanel anymore because the quality has gone down significantly. I mean, we're talking about a brand who made sure that the quilting on the flap lined up with the quilting on the body of the bag. Their gold hardware was actually 24 karat gold plated, and what they do now is painted gold toned. Back then, people used to be able to justify the money, and now it's just the complete opposite. I mean, I've seen people with bags that are a little slanted, lopsided. The flap isn't really matching with the body of the bag. Like, it is not there anymore, and people have noticed the difference. And because of that, they have just not been able to justify paying the significant price increases, and the prices have gone up year after year after year. It's actually insane. So what does a brand do when it doesn't want to invest in the quality of its pieces, but it still wants to make a ton of money? It gives you something shiny to make it feel like you're actually getting your money's worth. Now, is the hype actually worth it? Are people actually really excited about the pieces? Are they really that good? Or is it manufactured hype? So let's go back to Blazy and all of his creative geniuses that we've been able to see with his first drop with the brand. He is starting with a bang. I have not seen this many unique, insane styles at Chanel in a long time. And you can tell that he's really challenging the brand and actually giving every type of woman a little something that they'd like. So if you are the classic Chanel girl, you love just your basics, he is definitely giving you different versions of your favorites. But if you're the type of girl who really likes to experiment with her style, he's giving you exactly what you want as well, which is very impressive that he's been able to do both at the same time. So what are people actually buying? What's in the collection? Let's just start off with the bags, because I think that these are a lot more on the classic end and are actually some of my favorites. So like I just mentioned, if you are a classic Chanel girl, if you are a lover of basics who loves one thing and has to get it in every single color, you are covered. So you're seeing different iterations of the flap bag. There's also a really cute little bowling bag that I actually really like. At first, I wasn't too sure about it because the straps honestly reminds me of Telfar, and Telfar is the complete opposite of Chanel, but the bag itself and the way that people are styling it is actually really, really nice. And it's just a cute little shoulder bag. Now the Chanel 25, that one has been going crazy. People have been buying that in every color available, in every fabric available, in every size available, and they're making it look good. Like, at first, I did not think that I would like that bag. It was just not something that I was into in the very beginning, but as I kept seeing people post their outfits with it, people started dressing it up, dressing it a lot more casually. I was like, yeah, I see it now. Like, this is such a cute little bag. And my personal favorite is the shopping bag. I love this bag. You guys have no idea. This actually is not new to Chanel. This was brought back. So this is something that they had in the past that they decided to bring back, and we see it in different colors, but the most popular one, of course, is the black bag. That's my personal favorite, and I would love to get my hands on this bag for myself. It is so nice. But he also experimented a lot with some of the classics. So the Chanel 255, this one is going for almost $14,000. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you factor in taxes and everything, it's probably more than $14,000. This bag looks like it's been sitting at the bottom of your laundry with a million things piled on top of it, lost its shape. It looks like a crumpled piece of paper. And I don't necessarily understand it. It's a deconstructed classic bag, and it kind of goes back to the point of the quality going down. Like I mentioned, Chanel used to make sure that their quilting on the flap matched back to the body of the bag, and this is the total opposite of that. So you can tell he's really challenging things and trying to make something new out of the classics. I haven't seen anyone that actually purchased this bag, so I'm so curious to see who has it and how they style it. He also created a bag made out of resin, and I think that this is such a cool bag. I actually really like it. I wouldn't personally purchase it for myself, but I think this is one of the coolest bags out there right now, and it kind of looks like a constellation, like outer space, stars, planets. It looks so freaking cool. But I think people have been going a little bit more crazy over the shoes. People have been buying as many pairs of shoes from this drop as they can get their hands on. So the shoes, the most popular shoe that I have seen over and over again since the launch is the pony hair flat. And if it's not the pony haired ballerina flat, it's the pony haired slingback. And this one is definitely different. I love it. This one is so unique, and we've been seeing people over the past year try and do things with different types of animal prints, like Sophia Richie Grange with her new clothing line, and it is just so cool. And I feel like this is a great way that he's actually challenging the classic Chanel ballerina flat. He's really pushing it with not just the fabric of the shoe, but also the design and the print of the shoe. It's your classic ballerina flat, but with a twist, and I actually really like it. We've also seen different versions of the two-tone. So the classic Chanel girls are covered in that aspect, but the girls who really like to push things with their outfits and their style are going so crazy over these other shoes. Now we are talking designs I have never seen before for the brand, different fabrics, different color combinations. Now one of the most popular shoes that I've actually seen people really gravitate towards are these, what I like to call Tiffany blue toned heels. I mean, these are definitely different. These are absolutely not my style, but people love them. They love the color, they love the design. Like, as far out there as this shoe is, the design is in some way a bit of a classic design with the black on the border of the shoe, but it's crocodile skin, it's green and black. That's so different, but these are a fan favorite for this drop. Another one that I've seen a ton of girls loving is this matte-ish pump. It comes in different colors and people love it. It has a little bit of a black on the front of the shoe. It's definitely sleeker. It's giving a little bit more of like rubbery sort of feel, but whether you're a classic girl or a girl who really likes to push the limits in fashion, both types of people have been gravitating towards this shoe and styling it in so many different ways. I didn't expect that. Now there are some crazier shoes. I mean, these slingbacks are insane to me. Like, I am not a fan at all. I really don't like them, but they are pushing the limits. And these pony hair pumps with the red cap toe, these are so strange. It kind of reminds me of like Christmas, like reindeer. I don't know if I'm making any sense. That's what my mind is connecting it with. I really don't like it as well, but it's there for someone. So is the product really that good? Is the brand really making a big comeback because the product is that good? Or is it just hype? And if it's hype, is it natural, organic hype? or is it manufactured hype? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. And the reason why I say that is because I've heard people online saying that there's a lot of people who have been contacted by their Chanel sales associate to actually come in, where they're invited in to take a look at the new collection in a way that they haven't been contacted before for any other launch recently. So the employees were really pushing this line is what I was getting from that. And of course, if you just got hired by the brand, you want to really hit it out of the ballpark with that one. So of course, I can imagine there was probably a lot of encouragement on the corporate ends to really make sales and really push the collection once it dropped. And when it first dropped, you weren't able to just get it at any Chanel store. You had to be in, I believe, just the Paris location. There might have been another location that offered it in the beginning, but for a little bit of time, it was only offered in one location. And then the hype started to build and build and build. There's also an aspect of it where it's like, this is his first collection with the brand. He's the new creative director. This is an important time in Chanel history. And honestly, we have no idea how impactful and how big he's actually going to be for the brand. But how cool would it be to say maybe 20, 30 years into the future that you were able to be part of that history for the brand? Like, you bought something from his first collection, from his first drop, one of his very first pieces, one of the originals. I think that's pretty cool. But honestly, like I said, if the brand doesn't want to invest into the quality of their pieces, they're gonna give you something shiny to make it feel like you're actually getting your money's worth. And what I haven't seen yet is people coming out and actually talking about the quality and the detail of these products like they have with the products in the past. So those are the videos that I'm really, really impatiently waiting for. And I've already seen people starting to look for the dupes, especially for the Chanel 25. I mean, people have started to look for Tory Burch Coach dupes, but I guess we will wait and see. What do you guys think of this new collection? Do you think it's actually worth it, or do you think it's just this crazy thing that happened now, but we're gonna forget about it in a couple of weeks? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.